stand by.
I've been receiving strange reports of odd
I'm set. Now just
Now has mounted a full counterattack.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Primary objective achieved. Welcome back, Commander.
Good light. Tunnels targeted. Coming left for the shot. Fox. Okay, flash 131. Just fortunate. Understand your hit. Fox. Flash one. Left right. Take right. Merge. There's another one! Bingo.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to another TACT match, Tactical Air Combat Tournament. Joining me this evening is Mr. Deliverator. Thank you very much for coming along, Deliverator. How are you today, sir?
Everything fine, thank you for having me tonight, after this afternoon, TitanFire. Very happy to be once again with you.
Absolutely, and delighted that you could make it, and on short notice, so thank you very much for that, sir. We have this evening a match between DCS HAF, Hellenic Air Force, versus the 343rd. The mission is on the Caucasus, in case the lack of sand was not a giveaway. Now bear with me one moment while I figure out exactly what scene I'm looking for. This one! Alrighty, so we are doing something new for this stream, because Mr. Deliverator decided that he would raise the stakes for all us streamers with a fantastic multicam stream, if you didn't catch his stream a few weeks ago. So we're all playing catch-up, sir. Thank you for doing that. It is certainly making things look better. I think everybody has been agreeing.
You are welcome. It's my pleasure, you know. Why would think it makes things easier? Well, we can do the things better.
That's it, absolutely. So what we've got here is DCS HAF on the left side of the screen. We've got 6 Vipers together. I may ask you, please, Mr. Deliverator, if you'd have a little look over the jets and their loadouts, and I'll come back to you in a moment for an update.
For sure. I mean, let's check first DCS HAF, what we have with them. Of course, what they are running today, is the standard loadout for the F-16s, that they are carrying the 3 packs, plus the 6 AIM-120C. Whereas our guys from Japan, sorry.
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my English right now. We have a mixed match. We have what we have for them today is 4 FA-18C carrying not spam run configuration that we all love to go with when we are doing PvE, but they are carrying the 3 packs plus the 6 120s plus the 2 Fox 2s, whereas the 2 single F-16s, they are carrying the 6 120s plus the 3 packs.
Excellent. Yeah, I noticed that one of the 343's Hornets here has a double ugly configuration with 2 fuel tanks, and then I think that makes for 8 AMRAAMs total in this lovely Japanese livery. And I noticed as well there that the I think 3 of the Vipers on the HAF side are carrying TGPs. Have we got any TGPs on the 343rd side?
Let me check, sorry. And both teams are starting to taxi, so you all know, okay?
Yep, excellent. I'm keeping an eye here. So we will get our cameras in position, and I'm going to start off then with a little bit of background for the squadrons. So bear with me 1 second there.
So what I can see in the meantime that TitanFire is checking the background, of course, both teams, only DCS HAF has decided to carry TGPs. I mean, for me, it's interesting option to carry a TGP during VVR, but some teams do prefer to carry them. I don't see personally what benefit it brings due to the decrease on performance of both teams for the airframe.
Yeah, that's always been the open question, and I think it's something we've touched on in a number of these matches, where whether it gives an advantage or if it gives a disadvantage. Certainly, you know, I think the theory is that it's easier to see splashes or to see launches from the opposing aircraft. I've actually yet to, I suppose, hear from the pilots taking part whether that has actually been an advantage or not. I'm not sure anyone would actually necessarily like to share that at this stage of the competition, but I think at the end it will be certainly interesting to see when we get to the latter stages their use and whether they're effective or not.
In fact.
So I think we're seeing the aircraft taxi to the runway now. I'm seeing 4 Vipers on the runway for the 343rd. We're going to talk a little bit about the squadrons, and then as they get in the air we'll talk about the mission itself. We've got the 343rd on the right hand side of the screen at Kobaletti, and on the left hand side DCS HAF are at Vaziani. So if we can work our magic briefly here, we can have a really quick look here at the terrain. So we are on the Caucasus, and as I say, it is Kobaletti versus Vaziani. So we've had a number of matches thus far here. The terrain south of Bullseye sometimes is a factor. There's kind of little hills, open valleys and things down there. Generally speaking, I think a lot of the fighting in this permutation has certainly taken part there.
Well, the thing is, I haven't even played around this map, so I don't even know how the geography works in this map in particular. We all know that each map has its own quirks, and of course all the teams participating do train in the assigned maps to know all the ins and outs of every part of the map to play it for their own good, you know.
Yes, absolutely. So I think each side generally will have their own tactics of this. I'm just going to latch into F2 here for the takeoff. We've got some very nice looking and tidy formations from both teams here.
Yeah, and in fact both teams are almost ready to take off. We are waiting for 343 KU to confirm, and then we'll start in just a sec.
Excellent, thank you for that, Deliverator. So I think we'll get that go any second now, or rather we'll get that ready. So I'm just keeping an eye here again. So half ready for takeoff, cool. We'll hold on the bios for just a minute until we get them in the air, get them rolling, so we don't hold them up on the ramp. Of course, we've seen the 343rd already on this stream some weeks ago against the 14th, and that was a very exciting match, come right down to the wire with a guns kill at the end to win it for the 14th. If I remember correctly, the 343rd won the first round of that match, and then the 14th came back and won the remaining 2.
Sorry for the interruption, TitanFire. Both teams has confirmed that they are ready to take off. So if you are ready, TitanFire, we can give them a go.
Excellent. Let's do this then.
Let's go for it. Countdown. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. So we are live now, right now.
Excellent. That's both sides are spooling up. We've got beginning of movement at on the left side. Of course, the jet I hooked onto has just delayed its rolling, so here we go on the left. 343rd, 3 elements rolling together on the right-hand side.
TitanFire, Ribbon Blue has informed us that my volume is a bit too low. If you can get it a bit higher whenever you can.
Yeah, I'm just tweaking that in the background here, so I've got you up a little bit higher on Discord now, so hopefully that will sort that. If not, I can increase the general background sounds. Please let us know, chat, and thank you for that feedback.
So we can see that 343 is already up with 3 airplanes, that they have two 18s on the front, followed by 116 on the left. And they are waiting for the second 3 airplane formation in the background yet to take off. Whereas the DCS HAF has already 3 airplanes in the air, 2, in this case the 3 16s, and we have yet 3 more 16s to take off from the runway.
Excellent. So am I right in summarising that as both elements have, or both sides of both elements remaining on the ground?
Yep, that's it.
Brilliant. Let us know, please, chat, as well, if the background music is too loud, too low. Trying to get the balance right here. Sounds okay to me, but of course all comes across differently on stream. So while these guys are moving towards the bubble, the infamous 19-mile diameter bubble, I always have to think about that, we will give it a little bit of a summary about the squadrons. So first up on the left-hand side of the screen, DCS HAF. DCS HAF is one of the Hellenic virtual squadrons flying in DCS World. This was founded in 2020, so a relatively new squadron, and keeps its activity ever since. A group of aviation enthusiasts joins forces to create a virtual squadron, aiming to offer its members time of pleasure with a competitive orientation. DCS HAF flights are based on different scenarios, simulating many types of operations with real-life conditions in daylight as well as in night environments. Flights with other squadrons in training and competitive missions make DCS HAF a social virtual squadron, seeking for different type of multiplayer experiences. You can find them on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. And we do have some extra information from both squadrons, of course, about the pilots, but we'll come back to that in a moment. A quick summary then about the 343rd. So again, these are directly from the squadrons. So formed in 1997, so quite an old squadron, by the Warbirds. It was followed by Aces High and War Thunder, and around 2017 it was split into a reciprocating fighter squadron and a jet fighter squadron. The main area of activity is PvP, but they also participate in large-scale PvE co-ops held by other communities. So the following are some of the major competitions and awards that the 343rd has won. So Top Gun 2019, 3rd place in the 2-on-2 heater category, so AIM-9s, etc. SATAL 2020, 2nd place in 4 versus 4 BVR. I was doing so well too. And then GTAG 2-on-2, that's the German Tactical Air Group. They came 2nd place in 2-on-2 BVR. So as I say, we'll come back to the pilots in a little while, probably before the next round starts is a good time while we have that downtime. So we just got word that there is some control of the bubble, but one side has now entered it.
Yeah, we have already 343, they are already inside the bubble, whereas DCS HAF is still yet to arrive. The interesting part is that the 343 has a distance between elements of 15 nautical miles, and DCS HAF is using just 10 miles. I mean,
yeah, sorry, I got Deliverator.
Yeah, sorry. So, of course, this minimal distance, we all know that 5 miles seems like nothing at all when you are fighting in the air, but those 5 miles, the difference, it makes for very different tactics where they are inside the bubble. And it changed all the way to go between different grinders and situations and such. So I'm very interested to see how everything is going to play out.
Agreed. So the 343rd here on the left side of our screen at the moment, coming from Kobuleti in the west. They're a good 10 miles inside the bubble by the time DCS HAF on the right-hand side, coming from the east, from Vaziani, have now entered the bubble. Let's have a quick look through some of the parameters and see how they're setting up here. So the first element of the 343rd are quite high at the moment, 33,000 feet. And I was going to say relatively fast, but 500 knots across the ground, not actually that fast. Trailing element is climbing through 25,000 at the moment, similar speed, and as you say, there's a good 15-mile separation between those groups. I can see DCS HAF looking like they're now taking a tactical spread, or at least they're beginning to break up their formation. Lead element at 27,000 feet, and those two breaking to the right now, breaking 30, though quite slow actually, the southernmost. Oh god, I'm going to butcher this name.
Go for it.
Oh dear. Patatukos. And on the southern element here, 460 knots is relatively slow. That's across the ground. Similarly, we've got people at the back just taking a nice leisurely approach to the bubble. 343rd are keeping their element tight at the moment. So what do you think, Deliverator, with the setup of things here?
Well, we can see that it's like 343. They are going for getting a hold of the center point, getting very strong in that area, and I think they are. I think they are going to try to create a all versus two enemy airframes just in the middle. And I don't know how it's going to play off because check it out. Now they are starting to spread, so we are starting to see some tactical spread from 343 right now.
Yeah, so they're currently 47 nautical miles apart, so this is beginning to come into the long-range silly AMRAAM territory, but I don't think we have anyone really at those parameters yet to expect 40-mile Fox 3s.
Well, I think we've seen that missile economy is a big thing in these kind of tournaments, so I'm very interested to see if any of both teams are going to go for a tactic of just making the other team lose some Fox 3s in this first match, this first encounter.
Yes, indeed. That's something we saw the 343rd do well against the 14th in their previous match. They were very good at getting the 14th to effectively waste some missiles up front. There's our first Fox, by the way. Vita has foxed. That looks to be 36 nautical miles from 31,000 feet.
Yeah, but it seems that DCS HAF is going for making 343 waste missiles. They are playing it very safely in the background, just turning cold, turning notching and such. They are playing very, very defensively right now.
Yeah, I think that's a really good observation. You can see the lead element there, Iceman, has turned around now and is descending. Patatukas, I'm definitely butchering that, but that's, I don't think, a bad effort, is still tracking hot. Bull is in a crank of sorts here, still quite high, 36,000 feet. That AMRAAM is passing 60,000 feet. Looks like it's going to space. It's still a good 13 miles off, so I don't think that's going to be a factor.
We have a second launch from Beta towards Bull, it seems.
Yes, that and his first AMRAAM has definitely gone stupid at this point. So let's have a look at that second missile.
Right now, while we have that missile coming towards Bull, it seems that Terry Fox 9 is going to start his match facing Patatukos over the south, who is being followed by Maverick. So I think we'll see some Fox 3s over that area shortly, because they are just 16 miles out from each other.
Yeah, good observation again. So Starry Fox 9 is down at 15,000 feet. Patatukos is at 26, turning cold and I suspect dragging from Maverick. So that AMRAAM in the north is now descending 31,000, so it's at least got a track. Whether it's going to get anywhere near Bull remains to be seen. It's a good 5 miles behind. So I suspect Bull will be okay. In fact, that looks like it's starting to go stupid.
Yeah, I mean, both missiles are stupid. Right now, what we are seeing is that both teams are playing it very safely. Very, very safely. In fact, I'm going to get curious. I need to remember there was one match. It was 64th Squadron against, I don't remember who. OTP, I think it was.
Montriconi, yes.
Went out on Triponi, where it went to the point where the fuel economy decided one round.
Yep,
where one plane couldn't land.
It's the first, the only match, I think, thus far in TACT that we've seen that. Of course, we should say that this is a 6v6 competition, if you're not familiar with the format. And the winning conditions are to wipe out the enemy aircraft, or to control this bubble, this 45 nautical mile diameter bubble, for 5 minutes. After that, you have to return to the opposing team's airfield. So missile economy and fuel are quite important, as we get a Fox in the north. That's a 15-mile Fox from Demian, or Johnny, at Rossman, who's low. This could be dangerous.
Yeah, we also have 120 from Katinak towards Maverick, just 10 miles out in the southern area. And in the middle, Heisman has just fired his Fox 3 towards Master MK2 in the middle.
Yeah, so I think Demian is okay at the moment. But we got more interesting exchanges in the south, as you're pointing out. Master Mark II, 12-mile Fox on Iceman is cold. That's probably okay. Squirrels are going to find that AMRAAM. And squirrels have been slaughtered. Dangerous Fox in the south, 10 miles. Patatukas and Sorry Fox 9 exchanging. It's 18,000 feet from Patatukas, so a lot of energy coming behind this missile. But I think Sorry Fox 9 has turned out early enough. Let's see how that goes.
So far, it seems that both parts are doing their job defending correctly. But only Sorry Fox 9, I'm a bit more preoccupied about him, because his 120 that is coming to him seems that he is not going to outrun it.
I think he's okay. Just passed left to right in front of the missile, as we watched in our new picture-in-picture view. Vita has a missile coming, but I think that is okay. Iceman is defending an AMRAAM there as well. Another squirrel has died. And yeah, a lot of missiles going about here. Wicked has foxed 13 miles on Unamuske. I did think I remembered how to pronounce that correctly. That was good energy. That was 20,000 feet, so that's a dangerous Fox going into the middle.
But 343 has managed to put Demian out of the fight. He's just up north, just way away from the fight. So if they manage just to make Bull push towards the eastern side, then this guy may have a chance to push towards the middle and solve the situation over there.
Got a 5-mile Fox in the south.
Okay,
Maverick has eaten it.
Yep.
So that's a kill for Starry Fox 9. 8-mile Fox coming from Patatukas on Starry Fox 9. This, I think, is going to be dangerous. Just passing right to left under the missile, as we can see, so I think that's okay. More Foxes are being exchanged around the north. Good observation about Johnny being pushed out on the north there.
The Bull's coming for trying to go for the clutch, but Rossman is putting 120 towards Bull to keep him on defensive.
Yeah, so we have a lot of missiles being exchanged at the moment. I think missile economy is definitely going to be a factor in this fight, with the liberal use of AMRAAMs, to use another phrase from the 14th fight. I think Master Mark II is okay from this AMRAAM, but let's have a quick look.
Well, Bull might eat one. Oh, no, sorry, no. He is going to defend. But we have a situation with the south where Katinak is just pursuing Patatukos, 120 from Katinak to Patatukos, and Starry Fox 9 is just pushing towards the middle, trying to hold the 3 flight element in the middle they have right now.
Yeah, I think Patatukos may be in trouble here.
Yeah, seems so.
Missile's gonna track. And we've got a kill in their picture-in-picture. So I think, is that 2 now DCS HAF that have died? This is 6v4?
That's it.
Dangerous exchange between Starry Fox 9 and Wicked, but probably a more dangerous exchange between Iceman and Unamuske.
So it's easily seen that 343 is using 2 elements in the north just to push Demian and Bull out of the fight, and they are using the 4 remaining airplanes just to push Wicked and Iceman out of the bubble. It would be interesting to see one team just go out of the bubble completely. We haven't seen that yet.
I think the closest we've gotten to that is we see Rossman now foxing 7 miles against Bull. Again, very dangerous exchange here. So we're tracking Rossman's missile here against Bull. I think Bull may get away from it.
Namasuke firing towards Iceman, and Iceman is dead.
Down. So that's down to 3. Starry Fox 9 coming in here as well, against Wicked.
And Starry Fox 9 has 120 put towards Wicked, and he's defending right now. Wicked's not going to run it, will he? Is he going to run the missile?
I think he's okay. Just below terrain.
Yeah. Very, very close missile.
We have 3 left on DCS HAF. 343rd applying the pressure now. Starry Fox 9, AMRAAM 4 miles. That's 6,000 feet on Wicked, about 8,000 for Starry Fox 9. This is going to be dangerous. I don't think he'll outrun this one.
Wicked is very close to be killed, and Wicked is... Oh, he's managed to defend that very close missile from Starry Fox 9.
And some more squirrels. That was actually really good defense. We were watching both aspects there, as Bull may be taking an AMRAAM close range. Oh, he's in formation with it. He's in formation with it. No, he's defeated. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, and Starry Fox 9 had just put out of commission Wicked from DCS HAF.
Excellent. Excellent work there from Starry Fox 9, rather. A lot of pressure. I think Unamuska has just avoided an AMRAAM that looked like it was tracking. So DCS HAF are now down to 2 pilots, Bull and Damien. So the 343rd at the moment are, you know, firmly in the driving seat with the round. I think it's just a matter of time at this stage. I don't imagine there's going to be a huge number of missiles left on board. I'm having a look here at Bull with 2 AMRAAMs left. We've got Damien, who is Winchester at this point, and we feel is probably going to die here.
Yeah, Damien is very, very close to Unamasuke, and he's just firing his Fox 2 class B towards him. And Damien is out of commission right now.
And we just caught that on both the both of our views. So DCS HAF down to 1 with Bull. Fox 3 away from Bull. That is a gimbal shot going on Unamuske. That is dangerous. Starting to defend. Needs to find the notch. Pop some flares. I think Unamuske is okay. That has been line of sighted, but Starry Fox 9 is in chase of Bull. Let's have a quick look here.
And the interesting part is that the 18 is almost matching. Well, not almost matching. It's very close to the speed of the 16. It's just 18 knots below its top speed.
Yeah, so Bull in a left-hand turn. Starry Fox 9 is gate pressing in. We're in a split-screen padlock view here. Let's just see how this unfolds. If you could keep an eye for me, please, if anybody else is getting into this fight. I'm following Starry Fox 9 at the moment.
Well, right now what we have is 5 elements from 343 just pursuing Bull all around the play area. and Vita is just up to the south, just chilling out, doing his own thing, you know, saving fuel and such.
Let's have a quick look in F10 while we see people coming. Rossman with a shot now. Get on board with the missile quickly as we keep an eye on Bull in our picture-in-picture. And here he comes right to left. That missile's close.
And it's a kill.
And he is down. So, and then there were, I was going to say then there were 6, yes, all 6 343rd have survived this round.
That's it.
That, I think, was a very impressive showing from the 343rd.
Well, of course, it is shown very easily here that 343 has many years of experience fighting PvP. And DCS HAF, they are only one year old community. I mean, I know of them, they are very good friends of mine. And I do know that they still have a long way of developing their tactics and level. Because as you can see here, it's everything a matter of practicing, that's all. So 1 year versus 343 was from 97, it was?
Yes, yeah, all the way back from 97. Very old squadron.
I mean, they're almost as old as I am, and I'm just 31 years old, you know. So yeah, of course, everything takes time to develop. In this case, we can see that experience has paid off. I'm pretty sure for what, because one time we did train against 343, and they outmatched us by far. It's like up to the point where you will say, okay, I don't even know what they were doing. So they are that good. They are up to that level.
Yeah, it's certainly they've had a very strong showing for themselves thus far in TACT. I'd say the match against the 14th was, in my opinion, a classic. If you haven't seen that match stream, folks, the VOD should be available on my channel. It was one of the earlier rounds of TACT. As I say, went right down to the wire. So they're definitely a squad of experience, and as we talked about before in these TACT matches, that experience always counts, because when you get into these sort of PvP matches, the two most important things, in my opinion, from having flown some in the past, comms and situational awareness. How well you can talk to your wingmen and they talk to you, how quickly you can kind of get information across, and then how much of the overall picture you can retain as a group. And those two things only improve with experience. You have to just go through time and effort, and I think it's often quite difficult for newer squadrons and groups to kind of pull that together quickly. That's one of the good things I think we have to always point out here about the TACT tournament is that, or rather about TACT, is that we are seeing a lot of new squadrons and new groups who are getting into this and getting involved, which is fantastic. The more people we have flying DCS, the bigger the community, the better. And again, a big shout out to the 64th Aggressors for putting together the Tactical Air Combat Tournament, and we're getting weeks and weeks of entertainment out of this, and I hope you folks watching certainly are as well.
Yeah, for sure. 64 Squadron has made a heck of a job just getting everything together and rallying all the teams. It was 27 teams that we started this competition, I think it was. So it's quite a lot of teams and organizing this everything. And I mean this everything literally, with 2 servers that they have set up for every one of us. So everything is going very, very smooth thanks to their job. So big shout out for 64 Squadron.
Yeah, so we've got Unamuske, and please correct me if I'm getting that wrong in chat, but I think I've remembered it. He's now 10 miles out from Vaziani, 18,000 feet descending in a Hornet, boards are out, lights are on, looking good in a very smart Japanese livery, and this should be a safe landing for the 343rd. With 6 jets remaining, this isn't in doubt. But just to remember, for the sake of rules, anyone who may not be familiar with the format, the 343rd have to land now at the airfield of DCS HAF, which is Vaziani. And once we get wheels on deck, that will be the first round officially for the 343rd.
Yeah, and that means that we will have just, after they land, just for all the newcomers over here, what we'll have is that we will have to restart the server, rejoin, switch sides for the teams. So that means that DCS HAF will start up from the west this time, and 343 will start from the east. So that's what we'll see in just a few minutes when 343 decides to land, and everything is definitely resolved.
Yep, so we're just watching here, Unamuske turning in towards Vaziani. Gear is coming down, airspeed at 320 knots descending, so slowing down nicely. Turning in, we have our second camera in the picture-in-picture on the runway at Vaziani, so we'll see Unamuske's center of screen changing from a pixel to an aircraft. So let's just have a watch of this land.
Well, I think there was one match where one team did fail to land correctly, wasn't it? I do remember one JF-17 not landing correctly a long time ago.
Oh, I haven't seen it in this iteration, at least. You're gonna have to remind me of what match you're talking about, then. I can't recall.
I think it was ETF, maybe. Cannot remember it was.
Oh,
I
you
mean-
need to slow down, Unamusuke. 90 knots, about to go off the end of the runway. We've speculated on what would happen rule-wise if an aircraft goes off and crashes and explodes. Yeah, I imagine this needs to be a survivable landing.
Yeah, but of course they have 5 more opportunities to land. So.
Surely not all of them will go off the end of the runway.
Well, who knows? Would you believe that every one of them failed to land correctly? That would be interesting.
I mean, stranger things have happened. You know, I'm not a rules lawyer, we're not adjudicators here, we're just streaming. I'm not sure would that count as a official landing to claim the round, if that was the last jet. But as you say, thankfully they have 5 more aircraft, so I'm not going to increase the scoreboard just yet. Let's wait for somebody else, as we see Vita touching down.
Well, this time, please, Vita, brake. I beg of you, brake.
Yep, you're 70 knots, you're at the far end tire marks. You got this.
We can count on you, Vita.
It's alright, you don't have an audience, nobody's watching, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, it's under control, so that means that definitely this round is gold for 343.
Yeah, so much in control, the canopy has come up.
Yep.
Just going for style points there, so a big shout out to Vita, securing the round for the 343rd. So with that, let me not do this. This is the wrong button. 1 second.
Okay, I have just informed both teams that this round has finished, and I'm pretty sure that in just a sec we will see that the server is going to restart and get everything ready for the next
Excellent. So how many jets are still up? We've got a formation. Let's have a quick look at that formation. I'm a big fan of aircraft making the effort to formate when they're recovering like this. So big shout out here to Rossman and to, who is this on the wing? Starry Fox 9. So while we have a couple of minutes before this restart, I think they're just going to make a nice job of this. Let's talk a little bit about the 343rd pilot. So most, if not all, of the roster for the 343rd are in Japan. So we're going to start here with Rossman, who is in Japan and whose hometown is in Yokohama. Rossman, as we discovered previously with these fun facts, Rossman can ride a horse and shoot a bow. And I'd be very curious to find out if he can do both at the same time. But just in case that wasn't intimidating enough, he can also use a sword and a spear. Then Starry Fox 9 over the shoulder of Rossman. Here. Starry Fox 9, also in Japan, has been with the squadron for 1 year, likes to fly the Hornet, and his fun fact is a master of oversleep, and that is something I can definitely get behind.
What more do we have? I mean, we have 4 more guys to know about, isn't it?
Yes. Stand by 1 moment there, please. So let's look at Unamusuke and see if the aircraft has caught fire yet. So Unamusuke is also in Japan, hometown is Tokyo, and describes the Su-33 as his wifey. And the fun fact, again, is not streamable, but is a reference to how well endowed he claims to be. So let's just leave that one there, shall we?
Yes, please. Please do so.
And then we'll have a quick look here at Vita, who secured the round for the 343rd. Vita, from Japan, time with the squadron 6 months, prefers the Viper and the Fokker-Wulf 190. It's almost nice to see the World War II stuff get a shout out. Has been with the squadron, it's been 10 years since he has returned to flight simming. I don't have a time with squadron in the notes here, but has played IL-2 1946 and Lomac FC-2. Now those go back. Flaming Cliffs 2, of course, well known amongst the community. The current version being 3, which again is actually still quite old of itself, so that's giving you some sort of idea of age there. So let's have a quick look now at the next one in our roster. So Master Mark II has pulled in beside Vita while we were looking. And Master Mark II, again, is from Japan, with the squadron 2 months, I believe, I'm reading this correctly, and prefers the F-15 DJ, which I think is the Japanese variant. And for some reason, Master Mark II thought that the F-15C could be used for this competition. And this made us laugh previously, and will make me laugh again, that Master Mark II was under the impression that he could fly the F-15, so was practicing with the F-15C until recently. ... And then rounding us out, I think we've got one more aircraft here. Katanak is just flying around for the laugh, it looks like, at the moment. I'm not sure if Katanak has gotten lost of where the airfield is, but it's over there, over on your 3 o'clock bit. So let's check where is Katanak in this list. So Katanak, from Japan also, is with the squadron 2 months, I believe, if these notes are, I'm reading them correctly. Prefers the Viper, so no surprise to see a Viper in use here. And I quite like this. Katanak's jokes freeze the place. So obviously a fan of bad jokes there, so very much in my taste of humour. So I think that gets us through all 6, if I've not miscounted. Is that everybody, Deliverator?
I think that's correct. Of course, we still have DCS side, the DCS HAF side. But we can do that after the intermission if you want to.
Yes, indeed. I think the start of the next round we will run through the pilots of DCS HAF and the little bios that have been provided to me. So I think it's always a nice thing with these streams to give a shout out to the people who are doing the flying at an individual level, and you know, get a little bit of a time in the sun, if you like, or time in the spotlight.
For sure, this is a great idea of yours. I mean, now you are raising the bar for me. Now for the match I have at 9 in just a few hours, you know.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, you raise it one, I have to raise it back another way, you know. But by the end, we're going to have something semi-professional, right?
Well, that's the idea, isn't it?
I just see in chat here, Aerospace Professional, welcome, good to see you again. Talking about an F-18 fencer. A commie coming in, he's just doing a fence check about Unamusuke. I think we can confirm that Unamusuke is firmly fenced in here.
For sure.
Oh dear. So, we are expecting the server to go down in a couple of moments. Of course, it's worth talking about. You know, we are a few minutes since the battle, or since the round has been won, but this is useful time for the squadrons. In particular, that, you know, the DCS HAF folks will likely be talking amongst themselves at the moment, within, you know, whatever comm they're using in that Discord, TeamSpeak, etc., and talking about what, you know, what they saw in that round and what they could improve upon, or where tactics may have worked or where they may have gone wrong, and what they can do to improve for the next round. So, you know, it's not a bad thing necessarily that there are these little moments of, you know, quiet and down between the rounds, you know. So we're watching the last jet here, of course, Katanak making a final approach. So we'll get, hopefully, to see the touchdown just before those tire marks are just in front of the camera on the left.
Well, we have enough one fence in airplane, you know. I don't think we don't need to.
Indeed. So what do you think, Mr. Deliverator, that DCS HAF could do for the next round on the back of what you've seen here?
Well, what we've seen right now is that DCS HAF decided first to go to the defense game, just sticking to the eastern side mostly, waiting for 343 KU to counterpost them, and that can be a viable option. But the thing is that 343 managed to separate the DCS HAF northern side towards the north very, very hard, very, very easily, and then the southern part of DCS HAF went down quite easily. And we all know that when just one plane goes down, it's very, very, very simple for everything coming down if you don't manage to strike back and level things out. And that's what happened to DCS HAF in a nutshell.
Yeah, agreed. I think that, you know, as we've talked about in many of these streams, that once you start losing jets, it's very easy for everything to go sideways quickly, because you lose your shape, you lose position, and if your opponents are, you know, paying attention and on the ball, then they can take advantage of that quite quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, we've seen that 343 it has the experience to do it quite easily, as we've seen right now. So I think that I'm interested to see if DCS have managed for this new round to take down one plane from 343 at the start of the match, and then I would love to see how it plays out, to see how 343 turns around the match, if they manage to do so, or will they crumble upon having one less airframe just from the start.
Yeah, it's a good shout. It'll be interesting again. It's always interesting to see how things change between the rounds, you know, because there's always the risk that the 343rd could be overconfident here, and we have seen a lot of new squadrons in the competition pull out surprising results. So, you know, I would like to certainly, from my point of view, see the DCS HAF folks, you know, get in the fight and have some of those missiles connect. You know, from a stream point of view, of course, it is you know, favourable that we would see it go to a third round and come down to the wire.
I mean, we all here just for the spectacle, so the more missiles we have airborne, the better. We all know that.
Absolutely. So the server has come down in the background, folks. We're just waiting for round 2 to start up. So while we wait, we'll just take a quick break for a moment, and I'll put up the schedule of the remaining TACT matches. We're firmly in the group phase here. We have 2 more matches this evening. I think I'm right in saying, Mr. Deliverator, you have a match today, don't you?
Yeah, I have a match in just a few hours, and we have we have a previous match awarded that is TNC versus TAW, but they are doing the meme wars over this TACT 21 Discord. So if you are over the Discord, I do recommend you all to go to our TACT chat channel and just enjoy how everything's playing out. Tonight seems going to be a fun fight between them both.
Excellent. So we are, I think I'm right in saying, approaching 1700 Zulu, so there are 2 matches, as we're saying, coming up this evening. So TFT versus PTF is starting at 1800 Zulu, so in an hour and a bit from now, with Mr. 104th Maverick hosting that. And then, as Deliverator says, Deliverator is hosting TMC versus TAW at 1900 Zulu, so an hour after the other one starts. So lots of matches going on this evening, and then we have, if my schedule here is correct and up to date, which hopefully it is, 3 matches on the go tomorrow. So at 1700 Zulu, Lock On Greece versus ALA 15. Again, 104th Maverick will be hosting that. That's 1700 Zulu. And then 2 matches simultaneously. 1900 Zulu, Tricker will be hosting Alamo versus Leading E. And then we've got our good friend Macy hosting One Trick Pony versus ECV 56, the Condors, our Argentinian friends, at 1900 Zulu again. So lots and lots of matches coming on here. And I think I'm then correct in saying that we've just got a handful, I think it's 6 more matches left in the schedule. 3 on the 17th, which I think is Saturday next week. Yeah, next Saturday.
That's it. 1
on the 18th, which is Sunday, and then the final 2 group matches are on the 24th and the 25th, so 2 weeks' time, Saturday and Sunday.
That's it. So we have the server just up and running. Both teams are starting to join up and getting ready over the runway. Of course, both teams will need just a bit more time to get everything sorted out, get everyone just inside the airframe loaded out. So that means that we'll be just starting the next round in just a few minutes.
Yep, and just on the stream at the moment, going through a little slideshow, is that schedule I just talked about. I've updated this to include the group breakdown. I think this is the latest version that X-Man has produced with the recent results, and the knockout stage bracket with the matches that are taking ship there. So have a look over that as we prepare and wait for the next round to go. Okay, loading into the server myself here in the background. I don't think we need to go to a break properly here. So let's just stay with it and get ourselves loaded in.
Yeah, but I do need just 10 seconds, okay? Give me
Absolutely, take your time, mate.
Okay, back.
Welcome back, sir. So we are just about to put the stream back to the match because we've got pilots slotting in. So before we just do that, I'd note that you were taking a good track of who was killing whom in that last round. Would you be able to go over that for us, sir?
Yeah, sure. So first match, and I managed to track everything. I managed
That's not an easy
to
job,
track
so
everything.
thank you for that.
Well, I mean, you are the pro in this area, so I managed to level it for you. So perfect. I'm happy with it. So first, in this first round, first shutdown was Maverick, shot down by 1 Fox 3, fired by Starry Fox 9. Second was Patatucos, shot down by Katinak GP. Third one was Iceman, taken down by Unamasuke. Afterwards, we have Wicked from takedown by Starry Fox 9, followed by Demian, takedown from Unamasuke once again, and Bull, the last remaining one, taken down by Rosman.
Excellent, thank you very much for keeping track of that. So for folks watching the stream here, we've gone into a little split screen, so we've got the 343rd on the right hand side, if I'm looking at this correct. Indeed it is. We've got this lovely Japanese livery again here, and if you are paying attention you will have noticed a change of aircraft on the left hand side of the screen. We have a Tomcat.
Yeah, but it seems that it's not going to be flown with a Rio, human Rio, and we all know that the 14s without Rio is not something that you should be that scared of. So I don't know if that decision is going to play off as good as they think it's going to play off.
Yeah, that's a really good shout out. I was just about to ask whether we had a new pilot join from DCS HAF side, so we're still at 6, is that correct?
That's it, 6 members from DCS HAF for this match, so they don't have any human Rio whatsoever. They will be fine with Lester.
So we're looking at DCS HAF Maverick piloting the Tomcat, and the rest of DCS HAF will be remaining in Vipers. And from the 343rd side, we have Master Mark II in a Hornet, Katanak in a Viper, Vita in a Viper, Unamusuke in a Hornet, Starry Fox 9 and Rossman both in Hornets again. So I think we're seeing more or less the same again from the 343rd.
Yes, exact same formation. It did work out for them, and it seems that they are very comfortable using the 4 18s plus 2 16 formation for the matches.
Yeah, so we're just having a quick look here at the liveries on the left side of the screen for the DCS HAF. There's obviously a Hellenic Greek livery here, some nice roundels and fin flashes, looking very smart and tidy. So as we said, let's have a quick talk about the DCS HAF pilots. So let's do this properly while we wait for them to taxi and have a quick look at who is there. So bear with me one moment there, folks, trying to figure out the best way of doing this to not miss the taxis, as it were.
No worries, I'm just making both teams ready, waiting for the taxi. So they are both only one team is ready to taxi so far. So no worries, I'll inform you when they are ready.
Excellent, thank you. So let me do this way then for a moment. And I'm just going to jump over and get a good look here at the DCS HAF Vipers in a lovely little staggered ramp position. Alrighty, so we've got Subi, if I'm getting that correctly. I have names for the pilots here too, but I'm struggling with pronunciation, so I'm not sure if I want to try and pronounce it or not.
Don't even try, believe me.
Yeah, I think I might actually veer away from that because I've taken a lot of stick for my butchering of names on this stream already. So Subi is from Greece, has joined DCS HAF for over a year now, prefers flying the Viper and loves to tease his wingman. So obviously a character here. Then we've got Maverick in the Tomcat, as we were just talking about. So Maverick also is from Greece, has joined DCS HAF since the beginning, so 2020. Never leaves his wingman, and prefers the Viper. And hilariously then we've got Iceman, of course. So from Greece, joined DCS HAF from the beginning as well, and prefers the Viper. No particular fact or note or tidbit here about Iceman, but I think he's just, you know, cool as ice. So we'll make something up. So then we're going to move on. I'm embarrassed with myself for that one. Demian. Now it's spelled with an E, so I'm expecting, or a 3 rather, so I'm expecting this to be an E, so I'm hoping that is correct, Demian rather than Damien. Do you know the correct pronunciation there, Deliverator?
Damian, that's correct, I think.
Damian, okay. So from Greece, joined DCS HAF over a year now, is the squadron videographer. God, I can't even pronounce that. An editor. I'm really having a day here. And prefers the Viper. So we've got a lot of Viper love going on here in DCS HAF. And next one down the list here is Bull. Bull has 3.5 years of experience in DCS, and has joined DCS HAF since last September. Fun fact for Bull is he refuses to change his nickname, although many times it is confused with the Bullseye. so I think we could add a line there to say Bull is stubborn as a bull.
Definitely.
And then rounding out the squadron, or rounding out the roster for DCS HAF here, the 6th pilot is Patatukas, and again, I'm hoping I'm getting that correct. So from Greece, has joined DCS HAF since the beginning. Has a difficult call sign is the fun fact, but I think we're doing okay with it, and likes the Viper.
Yep. And both teams are ready to taxi at your order.
Excellent, so let me get the split screen going again. I think we can get them taxiing now, sir.
Okay. Both teams are clear to taxi. Okay, so both teams are going to start taxiing right now.
Yep, we can see a Hornet here from the 343rd has begun taxiing, and the Tomcat from DCS HAF is beginning to taxi there at Kobuleti, is that right? Yes. Yep. So of course the sides have swapped airfields here. So we've got the 343rd this time over at Vaziani in the east, and then we have the DCS HAF folks over here at Kobuleti over in the west.
And now I'm interested to see how everything is going to play out, because as we know, if we check the elevation map on the F10 map, we can check that below, so the southern area of the bullseye, you have more of a mountainous region. And beforehand, it was played by Maverick in one side. I don't remember which one. Oh, I don't remember the names, I'm afraid. Well, it was played in the southern side. 343 managed to overwhelm DCS HAF in the pure fight. And I'm interested to see if they are going to play exactly the same tactics or not, even if DCS HAF is changed just to have 114 with them.
Yeah, again, it will be interesting to see what effect that Tomcat has, or how DCS HAF will change their tactics to integrate it. You know, whether it's just a straight swap in for the aircraft, I think it was a Viper that was being flown before by Maverick, or whether they'll adopt something different now. I'm also getting some feedback in chat from Avi1 Kenovi. I had to reread that several times in the past, because I know I got that completely wrong. There's comments that we love it when you butcher names. Yes, indeed, I do it so often.
But I do remember, I think what Heramisi was over your stream, I do remember, and he was butchering my name over a fight. It was... when I watched it afterwards, like, okay, man, I think I have to change my nickname, but it's been mine for so many years.
It's a good one though. I remember watching that same one and grinning to myself every time Missy was trying it.
It was very fun to watch for sure.
Oh, Missy, we love you. Never change.
Yeah, we love you. Yes, thanks for showing your match, by the way, mate. We all know that is we are just doing it because we love just showing it. Every effort we all put into this. As we said, every one of us is just trying to improve over what everyone else is doing. and that means that all the viewers are getting a better experience overall with all matches. So we all are winning overall. That's the most important part.
Yeah, absolutely, completely agree with that. We have, I think, again, mentioned this a number of times in some of the commentaries that I've been part of, but I think one of the really nice things about the way TACT has been run through is that we actually have quite a rabble of streamers, a lot of people taking different approaches, different spins on it, and getting coverage, both for the community and for streamers and for everybody, really. I think it is really a win-win in that regard. But also, the collaboration that there's been behind the scenes in trying to, learn from each other's streams and improve.
Yeah, I think that's what TACT 21 is about. It's made, of course, 64 squadrons. They are the ones hosting it, organizing everything in the background. But it's made into a reality thanks to the work of every team that is taking part in the tournament. And we can see that both teams are almost ready to take off. Okay, both teams has already confirmed. So TitanFire, at your order, we can start the match.
Roger that, sir. Please go ahead and give them the go. We are watching 2 runways here.
Countdown from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Match is alive right now.
Excellent, we're on board with Starry Fox 9 from the 343rd, rolling a Hornet down Vaziani as we start round 2 of DCS HAF versus 343rd. Left side of the screen is DCS HAF Maverick, rolling a Tomcat down Koboledi. So Tomcat launching by itself, the remaining 5 elements in a lovely little formation at the far end of the runway. Starry Fox 9 airborne here with Viper on the wing. I don't have a name for that Viper. Who's up with Starry Fox 9 there? Deliverator?
Vita. That's it.
Excellent. So the Tomcat looks to be launching a little bit on its own, but the other remaining Vipers of that, I should say the first 2, have launched now. I expect we will see a spacing again develop from the remaining 3 Vipers.
Yeah, but the interesting part is that we've seen a very similar tactic from 343 on the other side, where they have launched only 2 airplanes right now, and they are just starting now to launch the other 2. So
let's get on board with those.
So it seems that 343 is like mirroring DCS HAF in this regard, as in launching the airplanes with very longitudinal separation. So what this means for me is like, I think both teams are not going to go for the standard left, center, right formation with 2 airplanes on each side. It seems that we are going to see something different in this match.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here at Koboleti, and the remaining 3 DCS HAF Vipers are still on the runway, so again they're going to get a little bit of separation here. We will watch them take off and then have a look at F10 as they start to close in. While we have a moment for gratuitous external shots of DCS looking beautiful, let's take them. I think this is Rossman we're following here on the right hand side in the Hornet. First of those final 3 Vipers is rolling now at Koboleti, and apologies to the stream for some of the choppiness coming in. I think DCS is now being DCS in that regard.
Well, DCS is not made to put multiple instances in the same machine. We all know that.
And yes, here we are. And who do we have to thank for that?
Please, Eagle Dynamics, please fix.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that is all 3 of the remaining Vipers have launched from Koboleti from DCS HAF. So let's come back to F10 and have a look at the picture.
Yeah, and 343 has just taken out the 2 last 18s. They are just taking off.
Excellent. So DCS HAF Maverick is approaching the bubble here. About 6 nautical miles out. 18,000 feet. I cut you off there, Mr. Deliverator.
No worries.
Alright, then from the 343rd side we have got Starry Fox 9 and Vita, 28,000 feet, also about 3 nautical mile now, similar distance to the bubble, followed by Rossmann 17,000, moving quickly, 590 knots. Katanak, over 600 knots in a Viper, 17,000 feet, so very fast there. Unamuske, Master Mark II taking up the rear in the Hornets. So let's just have a quick look again to refresh our memory on what these Hornets are carrying. So we've got Unamuske here with a standard, I suppose a standard Hornet loadout in the sense of 3 bags and nothing silly. And over on the wing, Master Mark II with again a, well, we could say a kind of a competitive standard with the double ugly configuration, 2 bags, and then getting that extra double rack of AMRAAMs in. So both sides are in the bubble now, and I'm just going to quickly just jump through the rest of these aircraft as we get a lovely visual of a Viper dropping a bag. Katanak rocking 3 AMRAAMs. And then up front, Vita, all AMRAAMs on board, has leveled off at 30,000 with Starry Fox 9 in the Hornet. Starry Fox 9 had a 3rd bag underneath, I will assume, and otherwise pretty standard looking.
Yeah, so far everything is very standard. The only different part is that we are seeing this different formation of both teams. Not having 3 planes in the front, 3 planes in the back, then splitting into the right, center, left. They are just going for something different, and I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out.
Yep.
What we can see in the left side of DCS HAF, we can see that Maverick is just going guns blazing just to the front, and Iceman and Bull, they are just splitting off to the side of Maverick. I assume that what they are going for is to use Maverick to try to send those Phoenixes that they can be launched by long ranges towards 3-4-3 formation in the middle, and then pull him back towards the rear part. That's what I think is going to happen on the left side.
Yes, indeed, and that is Maverick on the left. We are looking at it in picture at the moment. Just having a quick look at the parameters, so he has passed through 31,000 feet. Phoenix has come off the rail, so just as well we got picture-in-picture there. We've got that on cam, which is nice, 55 nautical miles. Presumably that is heading towards Starry Fox 9 in the lead, up at 30,000 feet. Has started defending. I think if we have a quick look here, we can see Starry Fox 9 is downhill now, so I imagine has seen a Phoenix launch in the distance. It's one of those things that definitely stand out in DCS. I always liken them to a space shuttle launch when you're observing. There's another Fox coming off from Maverick, heading in towards the 343rd group, 50 nautical miles out.
All the 4 front planes from the 343, their 3 are just dropping down to the deck, as it seems.
Yeah, not a bad move in that regard, because, you know, the Phoenixes are going to go up, they're going to have the range, but they've got to come downhill again and get through that thick air. You know, you don't want to be caught up at high altitude with Phoenixes coming in.
Yeah, for sure. And we all know that since last update, ground clutter is a real thing, a big problematic thing for all missiles.
So we're on board with the lead Phoenix here, by the way. It is now passing down through 33,000. Starry Fox 9 is flying straight into this, although descended to 15,000. This could get tasty if it's going to track.
Starry Fox 9 is defending right now.
Yeah, broken. That looks like a last-minute RWR call. Has gone far a notch, descending hard. Missile, I think, has gone dumb overhead. It certainly looks like it's just gliding now rather than actively tracking.
Yeah, you're totally right. Another Fox 3 from Maverick towards Katanak on the south.
Alright, let's pick that one up, because the second Fox, the second Phoenix that Maverick had launched also looks like it's gone nowhere. So let's have a quick look at that 3rd launch. Starry Fox 9 obviously now closing in with Maverick. That is only, what's this, 20 nautical miles. Starry Fox 9 though is low at 19,000 feet. Maverick also has descended down to 20,000.
Yeah, and we have a launch from Unamuske towards Maverick from the rear. Yes, 14 miles short.
Roger that. So we are following in picture here. The Phoenix is heading towards Katanak, but that looks like it is not tracking. So that should go for the squirrels. And we have that launch from the rear, as you've just called out. That's about 40 miles. That looks to be heading up to Iceman.
Yeah, that's it. Iceman has just shot 120 towards Starry Fox 9, 18 miles out.
Starry Fox down at 9,000 feet, Iceman at 23. There's going to be energy behind that. Maverick has descended down to 9,000 also. So while the squirrels eat the Phoenix, let's flip over to the AMRAAM inbound for Starry Fox 9.
Also, while we are at it, it is interesting to see how everything is developing. We see that 343 is just making a cluster all together near the bullseye, whereas DCS HAF, they are just 2 fighters close to the bullseye, and the other 4 are just very far away from the fight, so they cannot even help their teammates.
Yeah, I think Starry Fox 9 is okay from that AMRAAM in the corner, but on the main screen here we're following an AMRAAM that's been fired back towards Maverick. You can see Maverick just the centre of the picture there, skylining slightly, passing left to right, descending. I think Maverick will be okay from this.
Well, we are not that 14 can outrun everything. Yes, partner, that's all. No tactic involved.
So if a AMRAAM launch from Subi at the back, looks like it was tracking potentially against Vita, who has turned cold, so that's an 18 mile shot, that's not going to be a factor. 22,000 feet going down against 4,000. Rossman has fired, I think that's against Maverick, 10 nautical miles, might be coming to Subi. Subi's still high at 21,000. The AMRAAM is climbing, so let's see who this goes for.
We also have a fight between Bull and Katinag on the southern area that both have fought to each other but is defended correctly.
Roger that. So 8 miles, Subi has returned fire on Rossman. We're tracking Rossman's AMRAAM at Subi, but I think it is defeated. Starry Fox 9 with the Fox in the south against Patatukas. And squirrels are going to eat that highlighted AMRAAM, so let's get rid of that. Lots of missiles again, a liberal use as we like to say.
Yeah. Damian is way over the south, he's not even part of the fight at this moment.
I think we're looking at Rossman in front of this this AMRAAM that we're currently on board with. You can see the burners lit in the distance, that is defended. And more missiles coming out. That is Inamuske has launched up against the Tomcat, about 10 nautical miles. Tomcat is a 13,000, Inamuske similar altitude, so there's going to be a little bit of energy here. Phoenix, dangerous Phoenix, has been returned from Maverick.
A 10-mile shot for a Phoenix, that's a very risky missile.
Yeah, in fact, I think we're going to have potentially a kill here against Inamuske.
Unamasuke, he managed to defend the
Oh, almost how, but that was an impressive defense nonetheless. So let's come back on board. I think Maverick has successfully defended the AMRAAM that was sent in that direction. We're seeing a very narrow line here from the 343rd, about a 10-mile north to south spread. I'm tracking 2 ship going cold, but there's only about 3 miles before they turn back hot. So I don't think we're really seeing a classic grinder as such here, just a very, you know, defend and turn back in, very loose flying or loose tactic by the looks of it. Keep the pressure on.
I do remember what you said. This is a tactical blob, you know.
Yes, we are seeing the 343rd implement the infamous tactical blob. AMRAAM out from Katanak, and that's cold against Patatukas, that should be okay. Another AMRAAM in the south, Master Mark II, launching I think against Bull. Master Mark II is at 8,000 feet and Bull is about 7,000, so nothing particularly dangerous, I think, about these if they start to defend. Damien in the south is launching AMRAAMs like they're going out of fashion. 6,000 feet, those AMRAAMs again. It's impossible at the moment to know what to track missile-wise. There's just missiles everywhere. Oh, yeah, close range in the north, Subi versus Katanak. I think Subi may be about to eat an AMRAAM.
Yeah,
right to left.
So. Yep.
There's our first kill.
Yeah, Katina towards Subi.
Yeah, Bull and Damien again are just being kind of kept at arm's length by Master Mark II and Starry Fox 9. I suspect the 343rd are going to become quite aggressive here north of Bulls now that they have that numerical advantage.
Yeah, same thing happened the previous round, you know. Took one down from the other side, from one side, overrun, then just drag them back, that's all.
There's a Phoenix from Maverick that's going nowhere. I think that's a wasted shot, and probably... I'm not sure what it was foxed on, to be honest. And Maverick is out, but there's an AMRAAM coming in from Patatukas. Close range on Rossman, that's 4 miles. These are dangerous shots. Return fire coming in too. Rossman passing under.
Wow.
So Rossman
And
defended,
Patatukas down.
and Patatukas died. That's the second kill for the 343rd in this round. DCS HAF down to 3 now. Another kill in the south. Starry Fox 9. It's all happening very quickly again. Need to check the score for that. Starry Fox 9 has gotten a kill on... Do you have that name handy? Who was in the
I'm
south?
just checking it out. I think it was Damian, I think it was.
Damien, yes, I think you're right. So that's 3 jets left for DCS HAF, and you can see the 343rd are all turning hot now. Amram coming to go after Maverick from Katanak. Let's have a quick look at this. Maverick is flaring and defending. We can see Maverick passing right to left downhill here. Flares going out. That looks trashed. So we will jump back to F10 quickly. Another Amram heading for Maverick. I think there'll be a lot of pressure on that Tomcat here. Unamuska with a 7-mile shot. 5,000 feet up against Iceman. They're co-altitude. Again, this is actually looking like a dangerous shot. Although I hear a jet engine, I don't see... Here it is, right to left.
Iceman might be taken down. He managed to defend.
Yep,
One
Squirrel's
missile
got
to
that.
Maverick. Yeah, one missile to Maverick, this one made hit. And Maverick is taken down right now.
And a big splash there. So we're down to 2 DCS HAF now. Bull may be about to die here too as we watch the wreckage of the Tomcat. Squirrel's got that one, and another missile heading towards Iceman, but it's a little bit slow on energy, it looks like. May not be tracking fully. So let's get on board with Iceman, as Iceman puts a Fox on Rossman, and an AIM-9 is sent back in return. Rossman is down, that's a kill! A kill for Iceman.
Good kill, Iceman over there.
So that is a 1 versus 3 I'm seeing. Has there, I think we've missed something happened.
We missed one member from 343 taken down.
Yeah, we're at 1 versus 3, so it feels like we've missed 2 kills. But there is an Amram from Starry Fox 9 onto Iceman, which clears the board for the 343rd. I'll be interested to go back, if you wouldn't mind having a look over the chat there and seeing what happened to those other jets. We've clearly missed something that's gone on.
Yeah, I mean, I can check just for the leaderboard of the match that Iceman managed to kill 2 enemy airplanes. So of course he did take down 2. We don't know the other one he did take down, and someone else from his side managed to take down 1 enemy, 1 more that we don't know of.
Yeah, I mean it was all happening so fast there that it's almost impossible to keep up with, to be honest. I'm seeing in chat, Kami1, hello, good evening, is saying Vita disconnected, so that is unfortunate. Thank you, Kami. A disconnect, of course, is the same as a kill, so you are not allowed to rejoin. So once that disconnect happened, that was it. That was them down a plane. So I think the other kill then that Iceman got is the missing one.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we all know that between us two, you are the expert of taking notes of everything that's going on at the same time.
Well, unfortunately, I couldn't do it while directing cameras this time, but I have to say, having co-cast with you previously when you were doing this multi-camera work, I have a real appreciation now for quite how challenging it is.
Yeah, it is. So for all the viewers over there, if you even think of being a caster or just streaming and overall, just remember, everything takes effort and lots of care in order to make it look good. So I appreciate all the work made for all the guys who are being casters over the TACT 21 tournament. Be it more experience, more newcomers, they are doing their utmost best in order for you all to enjoy the spectacle. So what?
Yes, well said. So I had a look over the chat there, by the way, while you were talking, and it looks like Iceman killed Katanak with an Amram. So that was the other kill that we missed. So Iceman coming away with 2 kills, Katanak and Rossman, and then Vita disconnecting, I think accounts for the 3 missing jets of the 343rd.
Yeah, that's it. So what that means, I'm going just to check my notes with the updated thanks to the chat we have today. Thankful, really thanks for your chat, TitanFire, for filling up the work I cannot do. Thanks, mates. You are the real MVP over here. So what we have from round 2 is that Katanak managed to kill down Savi. Afterwards, Rossman managed to kill down Patatukos, followed by Starry Fox taking down Demian, and I think it was Unamasuke that managed to kill down Maverick and his Tonka. Afterwards, Rossman did kill Bull, and what we have afterwards is that Iceman managed to pull down both Rossman and Katanak, and unfortunately Vita disconnected from the match.
Yeah, that sounds like all of it then. So I am just lining up our camera here on Koboleti to catch these landings. So we are on board on the main camera here with Starry Fox 9, who has been slowly getting into formation with somebody whose name is eluding me. So Master Mark 2. I see Unamuske is only a couple of miles to the south. Are they going to form up? Come on, style points, folks. Let's make it pretty.
Yeah, please. And this time, please, no offense.
in fact, we should probably have a quick look at Koboleti and see, is there a fence?
Well, it would be very surprised if there was any kind of fence. Oh, there is not a fence, but there's something even more interesting.
Well,
river.
There is indeed a fence at the end of the Koboleti runway.
Okay, yeah, you are right.
So I'm expecting these jets to land runway 09, so I'm looking runway 27 here, so looking to the east. We will move and update the camera as required, and we get a little bit further along to their landings. They're still quite high here. 15,000 feet I'm seeing Starry Fox 9, and I think Unamuska was even higher to the south. We also have to, I suppose, remind everybody here that the round is not yet won for the 343rd. They do need to have a successful landing at Koboleti, which is where DCS HAF took off from, before this round will go to the 343rd. But with 3 jets and what looks like, you know, a short range at this moment, I don't think that will be a problem for them.
Well, we saw last round that they lose one airplane, landing. So, well, everything can happen yet, but I wouldn't count on this round being a draw,
Yeah, agreed.
So, Ribbon Blue saying asking if it's time to fence in once again.
It is indeed. So we're just going to have a watch here. Master Mark 2 and a padlock view back to Starry Fox 9. And I'm just going to have a quick run over of some of the chat things we've missed in the last few minutes. So a bunch of follows that I just want to acknowledge. Coming in before the stream started, actually Starry Fox 9 followed while I did some stress testing. We have CJ SPCL, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Thank you for the follow, Ecorgi. Rambomat911, excellent name. Thank you for the follow. Kiss Chicken with a raid earlier, thank you for that. Tony Cliftony. Fuzzy Lumpkins. God, butchering these things I am. Ferganatus. Lion and Shinobi DCS, thank you all very much for coming along. And Ribbon Blue with a 1000-bit cheer. Thank you for that, well appreciated. So we've got the aircraft going long. That looks like possibly just a long downwind here between Master Mark 2 and Starry Fox 9. So if they start to come in runway 27, we will shift our camera about. Unamuska is descended through 17,000 feet and is 9 miles out. I suspect this will be a straight-in approach here. Pretty aggressive downward movement here.
So in the meantime, while we have both teams just landing, both teams just 3-4-3 landing, what's your impression of this round? Because we've seen very different tactics, but what we are used to see, and I'm very curious to know what's your insight into this match.
Yeah, it's a very good question, Deliverator, because part of me at the moment, I'm thinking back of it just going, there were missiles everywhere, and it's very hard to pick up initial thoughts in terms of, you know, flanking maneuvers, strategies, tactics. It was just missiles everywhere for a while, and then everything happened. But I think the big takeaway from that, you know, I think in both of those rounds, we saw the 343rd be very aggressive. You know, they kept the pressure on. Like we commented there, they employed the tactical blob, where everybody was just gung-ho, pressing. You know, it's like they defended, they extended a little bit and turned back in quickly. There was no 10-mile extension, there was no hot, cold legs, it was just pressure. Find a target, send missiles downrange.
You're totally right. But I mean, even if the 14 from DCS side didn't manage, DCS HAF didn't manage to put that much pressure into the enemy and the 343 formation, at least it made them enough space. So afterwards, Iceman managed to do some work, you know.
Yep.
So even if DCS HAF didn't win this round, unless these guys just, please God, stop circling around and just land, please.
They're making it look pretty, it's okay.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, part of being pretty is also just being brief, so it's better.
A pile of flares going out there from, I think, I want to say that's Starry Fox 9 who went high. We are following Master Mark II around as they did their overhead break. I think they are indeed looking to land runway 27, so we have shifted our camera. So let's have a quick look here. Am I actually pointing in the right direction? I think I am.
Yeah, they are going to land over the 07 runway. But now we have to check if in the other side we have a fence, you know. That's of the other side.
Okay, let's check it.
Yeah, well, I
can confirm that there are lights at the end of the runway that may prove problematic, and there is also a fence.
So, I mean, we all know that part of the fencing configuration, you have to turn off the lights and then turn to the fencing of the weaponry. So, well, maybe we'll see the complete fencing in this moment.
Alright, so we have Master Mark II and Starry Fox 9 in a loose formation. That is not a bad idea to stay loose at this point with only 3 jets remaining. You don't want some sort of unfortunate mid-air coming in. Our picture-in-picture is slightly obscuring Starry Fox 9's jet, but it is nice to see a formation landing coming up here. I think that is, you know, again, always style points, and it's nice to see 2 jets come in together.
Who doesn't love a good formation flying, you know?
Absolutely. So let us very quickly just shift onto Starry Fox 9 for a better angle of this, as we have our second camera watching them come over the threshold.
Wheels down for Starry Fox and wheels down for... who was it?
Master Mark II.
That's Mark II, that side, that's it.
So, providing they can actually stop before the fence, this secures the second round and the win for the 343rd.
That's it.
So from the group point of view, the 14th, obviously, again, we'll just roll back a step, which is TACT itself is made up of 9 groups of 3 squadrons at this phase of the competition, and the 14th have won their first match. The 343rd lost that first match but have won their second one. So it's going to come down to the third match, which will be the 14th versus DCS HAF, to see who will go through to the knockout phase, I think I'm right in saying.
Sorry, did you ask something to me? Sorry, I was just writing to the teams.
No, that's what I was kind of summarising, that I think it's going to come for the group to see who goes through to the knockout stage. It will come down to the 14th against DCS HAF to see who will progress. A win for the 14th there will see them through. A win for DCS HAF means the group will be a tie, and I'm not sure what the rules are around that then, so, you know, still things to play for.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still not any ruling whatsoever in that regard. I mean, I do remember asking something similar, and it was like, okay, if it's a match, then it's a match. That's all. So if it's a draw, then it's a draw. That's all. So
we're watching Unamusuke, by the way, just touching down here, crossing the threshold. And we are going to follow Namusuke just to make sure that we don't have a repeat incident. Looks much more in control this time. I think that's sub 100 knots already, so there should be no issues. I imagine there was some interesting banter amongst the 343rd pilots after that last landing.
Well, I bet sure they did.
Absolutely.
Well, we did manage to have a good laugh out of it, so that's perfect for us.
Absolutely,
Also,
absolutely that.
So Rage has just informed us over the chat that the deciding factor in case we have any kind of draw between the teams is decided by the kill to death ratio. So that means if that two teams draw, then the one who kills more and dies less wins the group stage. Okay. So
very good. Thank you for that that overview. So I'm just going to very quickly update the scoreboard, and then I think we're very close to this finishing.
Yep. We are just seeing Onomasuke just having fun, just playing around with the 18, taxiing towards the parking space. Okay, so now after this means that the winner of this group stage, the winner of this match is 343KU coming from Japan. So now DCS HAF, I think that they, as you said, DCS HAF have still one more fight coming, and they are still not off the table. They can still manage to win the next fight and come back if they manage to have a good enough kill-death ratio, and they might even go towards the next the next stage. It will all depend on how good they perform on their next match.
Absolutely, we've got a lovely little, I was going to say, formation of parking here on the ramp with the 343rd Hornets. It makes for a very nice visual here. So I think that brings the live action element, certainly, of the stream to a close. I'm just going to very quickly bring us up to another screen, but of course my multitasking ability is pretty much at its stretched limit at the moment, so bear with me.
So shall I just inform the team that we are going to finish the stream for them, so they can get on or not?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, just inform them.
Alright, so in case anyone is just joining us, where have you been, honestly? But I imagine most folks certainly will have been keeping an eye, so just for a recap, the 343rd Naval Air Group from Japan have won this match 2 rounds to 0 against our Greek friends DCS HAF, Hellenic Air Force. So that is, I think, has been quite an impressive showing from the 343rd.
Yeah, for sure. As we said initially, experience has shown that he can manage for just doing everything this out, you know. Experience is a big factor in these kind of matches.
Yes, absolutely. I think, you know, and we've talked about this many times, and I think it's a common trend, you know, that the experience of flying together over a long time, you know, accounts for a lot, and a lot of things become automatic when you have wingmen like that who are, you know, experienced in how you fly, and you with how they fly, and tactics as a group. But I think, again, we'll just say it again, that TACT has provided a great opportunity for a lot of new groups to come in, and we've seen some surprising results indeed with some of the newer groups pulling out wins. So, you know, a good showing here from DCS HAF. You know, well done for stepping up, I think, in that second round. You know, we were kind of talking a little bit during the break about, you know, it'll be good to get some get some kills on the board for DCS HAF. I'm just seeing some chat comments coming in. Miru is, I think that's Miru of the 14th. Am I correct? Not correctly? Yes, that. you know, it's providing a good opportunity to get some people through and some new groups, and the more as a community DCS can do to, you know, help itself out and help each other out, I think that the better off we'll all be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the interesting thing is not going to be just 1 year from now, but a few more years down the road, and that's the interesting part, because then
Incoming transmission.
level-wise, all teams will be more even out, because that's normal, and that's when everything's going to be very, very interesting. When more teams have more equal level, and it's going to be a very interesting match overall.
Agreed, absolutely. So, I am conscious that you have another match this evening, so I think I'm going to do a little bit of a Tacview analysis, but I'm going to try and keep this quick. So if you wish to go off at this point, that's absolutely fine. I don't know what your schedule is like. This is all very last minute, so apologies for that. Putting you on the spot, sir, and I appreciate your help.
Well, you know, you can count on me anytime. And come on, let's go do some Tacview together.
Alright, so let's get the schedule back up. We're going to take a quick 2-minute or so break while we get the Tacview down. We'll keep this pretty brief, but we'll have a quick look over what went on in the match, and then we'll be back. So bear with us here, folks.
See you in a sec.
And we are back, folks. So we have in front of us a Tacview, as I rapidly try and locate the source of that audio. Alright, so this is round 1, and it is just after the takeoff from both sides. So we've got DCS HAF coming out of Vaziani, 343rd coming out of Kobuleti. You can see my screen okay there, Mr. Deliverator?
Everything 5 out of 5.
Fantastic, we will take it. So let us queue this up, let it run. I'm going to advance it a little bit to get a little bit closer to the fight, and we will just see what we see.
Yeah, and we saw from DCS HAF, they just went for the standard 2 left, 2 center, 2 right, and they just opened the formation very, very soon down the line. Well, the 343, they just did the same, but they did that way later.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing here actually that this is what we saw again in the second round. This just lose altitude defense before they get into the fight.
Yeah, I assume that this tactic goes towards just trashing the first trees that they are launched at 40 miles distance, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree. I think that's exactly what it's about, those stupid long-range shots. I just watched this one come in on Bull, I don't think. But the problem with that is you get down low and your missiles don't have energy when you go to return fire. You know, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage by just going low so early. I mean, it does look like they turned out, so they're setting up a grinder here with the second element. How long it remains a grinder before it becomes tactical blob, I think we'll have to keep an eye for.
Well, in this first round, I do remember 243 managed to have it a good grinder overall over this round. But afterwards, the second round, we all know that they went just for all blown, just tactical blow over the center. That was all.
Yeah, it all opens up so quickly here. This is kind of my memory from the round as we watched it live. We just have missiles everywhere.
For sure. And we can see that DCS HAF is very spaced out, so they don't have, and they have so much distance between elements that they cannot help between each other. They cannot help the middle area from the right and such, you know. They are too spread away.
Yeah, just exactly what you're saying there. I'm just having a look at the distances. So Damien is 10 miles from Bull, you know, which is considerable to be fair. Bull is 16 miles from Iceman. Iceman is in the middle with Wicked, but then there are another 12 miles, 16 miles to the other group. So north to south, whichever way is north here, you're looking at about a 42 nautical mile distance between the edge. So they're very spread out.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas if we looked in just as a comparison against the 343rd, you've got, I think that was the initial element with Katanak turning hot 5 miles behind, so in a good supporting range for Starry Fox 9. 2 in the middle, again, they're pretty close, and the 2 on the right, again, you're kind of 5 miles. So the elements are staying close, which is good, they can support each other. And if we look at the full spread, they're 20 miles, so about half the distance of what DCS HAF is in terms of width.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, what this means is that 343, as far as I can understand, okay? I'm not a expert, I'm just a newbie on this PvP thingy, but as far as I can see this, is that 343 has the options open for them to decide if they want to push to the southern area, northern area, middle, because they can just gather everyone up and just push whenever they want to.
Yeah, and I think we did see this in this round. So I think if I turn it this way, this is north. Yeah, we've got the arrow on the top right, of course. I remember you pointing out that Damien and Bull were just being kind of kept at arm's length, and we have this push in the south here. So I think I've just rewound it because we had the first kill coming in. I think it's Starry Fox 9 against Maverick. So I'm just going to let this run. So they're both co-altitude, 10,000 feet. Maverick was supersonic, just turning in at 6 miles when they both fox, so pretty close. And as we've talked about before, at that range you don't have the ability to run. You really just got to go for the notch, or put it into terrain. So if we look here, Starry Fox 9 finds the notch and the missile goes behind. So again, good work there. If we have a look over at Maverick, and we'll just watch this missile come in, I think he just doesn't find the notch. Is this short version?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually still pulling. He's almost turning to run cold. And the missile hits in kind of that rear right corner. So couldn't find the notch. I think it's probably just the wrong decision.
Yeah, that's the problem. At that distance, you have to go for the notch and try to thrust the missile towards the ground. At least that's what currently you have to do due to current Fox 3 implementation.
Absolutely. Big thank you to the Tempest coming in there with 100 bits. Starry Fox 9 had a very close missile, it looks like here. No, it was a little bit overhead, so that's less impressive from this angle, but still did well to get down. You can see the trail of countermeasures here. Used the terrain and got under that missile from Patatukas. Unless I'm misreading it and it was going for Katanak, but I don't think it was.
No, it seems it wasn't.
So my recollection of this Deliverator is that we have a lot of kills kind of coming very quickly here.
Yeah, DCS HAF managed to stay strong until it was Maverick, I think it was, that was taken down. And
yeah, Maverick was the first one there.
Yeah, and afterwards everything came crumbling down when 343 saw the occasion and just went towards Patatukos, killed him. I think they even killed him first, and then all pushed toward the center, while they had two planes fixing the two most northern DCS HAF elements toward the north. So they just managed to separate all DCS HAF, split them in half, and just take them down as they wished.
Yeah, I think it's actually worth pausing and just kind of looking at that, because again, exactly what you had been articulating during the live stream, we've got 12-mile push here between Vita and Damien, and then 15 miles pushing them, keeping them at bay. But then we've got the elements down here that can just push in 2v1 on Patatukos, and the middle elements again just kind of keeping people occupied. And they played the numbers game quite well, if I remember correctly. I think it's going to be Patatukas who dies next, but...
Yeah, I think too.
In fact, here it comes, I think.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, so Katanak, let's have just a quick look at parameters as we do. Let's see the distances. That was 7 miles. I don't think Patatukas knew an awful lot about this because of the... You know, it was a very slow turn, and that's far too fast. Apologies. We'll just do that one more time. Yeah, the co-altitude, Katanak has a lot of speed there, Mach 1.15 I think it was. Patatukas is turning to recommit, looking for the notch, and then RWR probably went off and turned away. So again, I think that's more or less the same thing of should have stayed in the notch there and gone for the notch when the RWR went.
That's at that distance, that's the only option you have.
Yep.
Of course, I've talked with people that know better than me about real 120 implementation, and it seems that that's, well, what we are seeing in DCS right now, that it has nothing to do with what reality is. So
DCS and reality are two different things.
Yeah, just for all the viewers to know, okay? One thing is DCS and other thing is reality, okay? Just to be extra sure.
Yeah, DCS is a reality unto itself.
For sure.
So again, I'm just going to pause for a second because the positioning here is exactly as you were saying during the live again, and as you're recapping here, that we're just seeing numbers. You know, there's 3 aircraft here pressing on 2, and Master Mark 2 is in a position to either go north to support if needed. That's not a huge distance, 23 miles, okay, a little bit, but then also 14 miles to get in the fight here. So in a nice position. I can't remember which way Master Mark 2 goes, but I think it may be towards the middle.
Yeah, I, as far as I remember, just Rosman and Vita managed to put Bull and Johnny up there, and the four remaining airplanes just went in for towards Iceman and Wicked. Oh no,
Yeah.
you can see a Master MK2 just shooting Bull and Damien right now.
Ooh, that was a missile that looked close to Rosman but wasn't, so I think we've just lost someone there, so Iceman. Let's have a quick rewind here. This is a dangerous position Iceman found himself in, and again, like, we've just lost that southern element from DCS HAF side, and your support, Wicked, let's try and get this distance right, 10 miles to the south, also defending, and you're here having to defend on your own. So again, being that stretched means you can then get kind of, you know, pincered, or not even pincered, but pinned in quite quickly, and you're isolated. So Iceman is in a position that is not enviable, certainly, because Unamuske is supersonic, as Iceman is through the turn, so there's going to be a big closure here. Unamuske is slightly higher, 13,500 versus 9,000. 5 mile AMRAAM. Again, your only bet here is to get the notch, and the only thing you can do, having turned in to try and push, is Fox and then get to the notch.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, if you don't Fox, if you don't get a missile out on Unamuske there, you're dead. Even if you defend the first missile, he'll run you down. So, I think that was the right decision. At that point, you're either going to try to run for a friendly, but as we say, there isn't one around, or try to fight. So I think Iceman made the right decision in getting a missile away. In fact, if anything, the speed was probably against Iceman here, because couldn't get to the notch quickly enough when he tried.
Yeah, also, at that distance, just 4 or 5 miles out, it's almost a miracle to manage to defend anything if it's fired your way,
Yep.
I mean, I've seen even when we are practicing, I've seen one launch 2 miles away, the 120. Just this, I remember I was notching, I was fire upon. The 120 decided to turn like 20 Gs in the same spot, and just decided to accelerate towards me. And I was taken down, like while doing the notch, and the missile was outrunning me. Just even 3 miles out, it's very, very hard just to run away from the missile, doing anything at all.
I'm keeping a little eye here on Wicked, because I think Wicked has managed, until then, to have avoided a number of missiles with defense. And what we've got then was Unamuske drawing fire from Wicked, and I think Wicked, unfortunately here, picked the wrong target, in that Starry Fox 9 obviously was the threat, and, I'll always caveat this as we do by saying that, it's... Oh, look at that. Let's see how close this gets.
Yeah, that's way too close for comfort. Not even 1 mile. It's like, wow.
That was pretty close. So I mean, I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. No, I was just going to say. So that distance is like 30 meters out. Just for those of you that doesn't use the imperial metrics. And 30 meters out is just like 90 feet. Is just a building. Like
Yeah.
6-floor building. That's all. So that's the distance between him and the missile.
Yeah, absolutely. Again.
Okay, so far we are 3 down at this exact moment from DCS HAF.
Yeah.
And Wicked is going to be shut down right now. So
Yeah.
But it means that just in a sec we'll see that everything comes crumbling down towards DCS HAF side.
Yeah, exactly. Even at this position, it's a very tall order to pull this back 6 feet 3. And I was just going to say that it's very easy at this stage to become overloaded. And I think that's probably what happened. Wicked here is just picked out the wrong target and they recommit.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine, given defending missiles, was looking for Starry Fox 9, and just saw contact fired, and paid the price, unfortunately.
Yep, that's it.
So I'm conscious that we're kind of talking about the kills here in the sense of what DCS HAF, didn't do well, but I think we should also again just make the point of 343rd, did a number of things correctly here. They drew missiles, they stayed alive, they stayed in support of each other, and took the advantage when it got it, and it was just one after the next. They really kind of snowballed very quickly.
Yeah, completely. I mean, that's the hardest part of having a good, coherent, working team. That part. Yes. Okay, we are going to push now. Okay, everyone push. Now we are going to fight together so we can help each other out. And that's kind of things that very, very, very hard to accomplish. You need lots and lots and lots of months training together to know all the ins and outs of every player, so you know how to go along with it.
Yep, and then we're just watching Unamuske getting named 9 kill on Damien there. From memory, I think Damien was Winchester at this point. I think we had a quick ordnance check, because turning around here, there's so little you can do. If you're down to guns, certainly at this range, if you had a missile and you saw Unamuske in front of you, there'd be a missile coming off. But I think Damien was out of options.
Yeah, for sure.
And that left Bull, and Bull had a go at running. I think it was a good a good attempt. I'm just going to come back quickly because I think there was what felt like a close defense there, actually.
Well, at least it felt for sure.
No, it was pulled into terrain, missiled a little bit of dolphining. But that's DCS for you, and Bull ends up getting run down. Yep.
Yep. Well, he was trying to, you know, I don't remember. You know this song that's like the persecution song. When I see this kind of situation, I do remember of it. Oh, I don't remember the song name.
No, I'm not following the reference you're looking for there.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
But yes, so that was round 1. That was again quite impressive and decisive from the 343rd. And let's load up round 2 and then get through it.
Yep.
Okay, so hopefully you can still see my screen.
For sure.
And I'm double checking, I only have one Tacview open, so that is good. And this is the second round, so the stream will just double check in a second when it catches up with the delay. Of course, we're on a 30-second delay here for fair play reasons. And we have the opposite, so 343rd came out of Vaziani, DCS HAF came out of Coboletti. And did you see much difference here from either side, Deliverator, in how how things approached?
Yeah, the thing is, the main difference is that both teams decided to have a 2-plane formation, 2 middle, 2 rear formation. Sorry, that was for 343. And in the case of DCS HAF, what they did was to have the 14 going the first one, just putting those finishes to put to good use, and being covered by 2 fly formation, 2 planes, and followed by 3 on the rear part. And that's something we don't see that often in this tournament.
Yeah, it certainly made a difference for them. I mean, these early Phoenixes, you know, we just commented in the last round that that leading element just descend down into the thicker air. But it did feel like, for a moment at least, that Starry Fox 9 was in trouble from this lead Phoenix, just flying straight into it. But I don't think it tracked.
Yeah,
oh, it did.
Was tracking up to that moment.
Oh yeah, okay, that got a lot closer than I remember. And another one coming after Katanak, but that didn't track then. I think just fell off of its view. I'm not sure if Maverick turned cold or not there. Jester lost the track. We've spoken many times about how rubbish Jester is. I'm Ram Starry Fox.
We all know and hate Jester. I mean, if someone of our viewers just love Jester over a human Rio, please say so and why. Because that's something I cannot get my head around with.
I agree, yeah, I mean, like, I think it's one of those situations where it's probably, I think that was a close defense again by Unamusuke. I think we called this out as a very short-range Phoenix from Maverick. And just gets down, wow.
Yeah.
That feels close. Just passing overhead, yeah. What's that? 179 feet, so not as close, I think, but yeah, still. That was good defense from Unamusuke. That could have been, very easily, the first kill for DCS HAF. And like we were talking about, you know, once you lose that first jet, it can fall apart quite quickly. So well done on staying alive. It's always fascinating to watch back on these Tacviews, because this match in particular, I want to see how close that missile got to Russman. I don't think it was actually tracking, no, that was just a happenstance. Yes, so, you know, during the match there's so much happening, you even see in the Tacview here missiles everywhere, it was just so hard to keep up with. I don't even know where the next kill comes from, Arky, where the first kill comes from.
I don't even remember.
I think we just lost one in the north, Subi, if I'm getting that correctly, or Subby. With Rossman, I think? Oh no, it was Katanak coming in. So, tracking along here, supersonic, 8,000 feet. Katanak supersonic, just about, 6-mile shot. Subi was launching, I think, a gimbal shot towards Rossman. Yeah, basically just turned into it, unfortunately. And then that shot had some energy. That's Mach 1.5 still, and it's closing in. But I think Rossman did enough to get away.
Yeah, I mean the wiggle tactic is like so overpowered when these situations, you know.
Yes and no. I've seen a number of these matches where people are doing this snaking defense, where they're just breaking left and breaking right. But when the AMRAAM gets close and you keep doing that, you know, I've seen a number of times where people end up breaking back into the missile, whereas a hard break in one direction should be enough to break it off. So it's a fine line.
Well, of course, you have to know your distances, and that's a very, very hard call.
Yeah.
And that's something that's very, very subjective to each one to know, okay, now's the time. You don't have anything visually representative of when you have to turn around. So
Absolutely.
You got feeling.
And there is the second kill. I think that's Rossman gets the kill. 5 mile shot, subsonic on Patatukos, who is hauling. Sorry, that's the missile speed I saw. You see, he is supersonic.
Yeah.
4 miles. I mean,
Rossman did manage to defend this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got in the notch. Some great defense again from the 343rd. They're clearly, you know, experienced at getting into that notch, so we'll have a very quick look at this here. And staying in it. So that's just passing overhead at this point. It's completely fallen off that missile's path. And unfortunately for Patatukos, went to turn cold at that range again, will get you killed. So the notch was the only thing there, or going down for terrain. So we're now 6v4, I believe, and there was a kill just caught my eye on the left side here. Starry Fox 9, with again 6 mile shot. Damien is supersonic, low 6,000 feet, they're more or less co-altitude. And goes to turn out. So I think we're just kind of seeing a pattern here at this stage. Which is when, what was that range we say, 6 miles?
Yeah, it was. That's very close by.
Yeah, within 5 miles. Yeah, you're not going to turn away from that, unfortunately.
Yeah, you are not.
So now we're down 6v3.
You should defend that one. Impressive, for real.
Yeah,
These guys, they know their defenses.
Let's walk through this quickly. So there you go, that pulls it into the terrain. So that downhill movement there, losing altitude, gets the missile to pull lead, and it pulls lead straight into terrain. So notch and, you know, terrain gets the missile line of sight it. So yeah, you're right. This squadron are very good at defensive on what we're seeing here. So 6v3, I think. We haven't yet seen Vita disconnect, but I do see that Vita is frozen in midair, so that is the disconnect has happened at some point there. So that's 3 versus 5. Now, if I remember correctly, the missile, or the kill we missed, is probably this one from Iceman on Katanak. Because I think it was Katanak who died.
Yes, possible. It is possible. That one has some kill probability. Yeah, because Katanak is turning towards the missile. No, he's not.
He's trying to notch. Doesn't get it though.
Yeah, not good enough. Of course, we can see. I mean, there's one thing: you cannot notch the missile itself. You can notch the radar from the missile for the enemy airplane, but notching the missile is way harder when it's just active. Way harder.
Yeah. So that was a 10-mile shot, but Katanak turns towards it and it becomes 5 miles. And at this stage, you know, is now starting to go, okay, right, now I have to defend, and it's already so close. That at that stage is probably turned almost slightly out of the notch, and I think that's where it probably broke down.
Yeah, I think he, as someone I heard once, he didn't respect the Fox 3 long enough.
Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah. So then Maverick died here, so Katanak got the missile on Maverick, so we'll just have a quick look at those parameters. That is 6 nautical miles, just supersonic. Maverick is supersonic, slightly turning in, turned out, and then turned back in towards it if we follow the missile. And just couldn't get to the notch. So that is 4 on 2. And Rossman brings the hammer down, to use a phrase, very quickly. And then...
We all know how this is called. I think even in Japanese, bukake.
Yeah,
This is
3 mile
just-
cold shot. You're supersonic, you've got the speed, you know.
That's it. You cannot just outrun the missile.
Yeah,
At
and
this
then...
point, everything is sorted out.
At this stage, Rossman is putting out an M9. Now, interestingly, we saw Rossman use M9s a number of times against the 14th, and sadly for Rossman, none of them ever tracked. That one also similarly never tracked, so...
Yeah.
And this is the end of it. Starry Fox 9 with the Fox 3. And straight into the notch, I love that. That was, again, smart flying from Starry Fox 9. Got the missile away. Straight defensive, because this is very close. This is kind of knife fight territory, I think.
Yeah.
If I can call it 4 miles. Both aircraft supersonic.
Yeah, for a PvE players, 5 miles is like, okay, I'm going to use my aim 9 because this is the right distance. And you can see at this distance, Fox 3 are the ones that are being used as if it was Fox 2s, because they have more probability of taking down the enemy airplane. You can see they are not that easy to outturn and just notch them out.
Yep.
But it's very interesting to see the situations compared to PvE.
Yeah, I think what's telling there is that all the Vipers in the tournament thus far have carried all AMRAMs. Nobody has opted to go for an M9 mic, and that's obviously because the M9X is a banned weapon. So the AMRAM, as we've seen, will pull silly maneuvers that the M9M won't. You know, and it has more range and speed, so it makes sense. Of course, with aircraft like the Tomcat or the Hornet, you get to carry some heaters anyway, so why not? But in this situation, I just kind of left it here paused while we were talking there, because it's actually 3.5 miles at this stage. So that is, again, that's knife fight territory.
Yeah, it is.
And as I just said, the Starry Fox 9 goes straight defensive, it starts losing altitude, goes for a beam, so when the missile comes back, again, by the time Iceman gets the missile off here, that AMRAM's 1.5 miles out, and it's Mach 2.4. Mach 2.8. Mach 3 when it hits the face. That's yeah. That's a tough missile to defend.
You will not be able to outrun that one, for sure.
Yeah, and if we see where Starry Fox 9 ended up from this angle, just went down into the valley and used that terrain, so even if it was tracking, it would probably line of sight into the terrain. Which, again, is great defense. So an impressive round from 343rd. Lost some aircraft this time, so I think DCS HAF should come away, you know, happy that they upped their game here, considerably from the first round, I think. And, you know, I didn't see, I'm curious of your thoughts, Deliverator, but I didn't see how close or far away they were spread this time. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, well, we all know that 343 did manage to do the tactical clamp over the bullseye that we remember, but from DCS HAF side, they were spread out as before, the same exact same as before. You can see that the northern area of the DCS HAF formation is way too away from the southern area, so they cannot help each other out. Even the middle area is just 15 miles out, maybe even a bit more. So too far away for those kind of heights, in order for both from different sides for DCS HAF formation to help them each other out.
Yeah, I think certainly the kind of center group were more unified, but the edge here, Johnny and Bull, just got pushed off again. They kind of got held at arm's length, and I remember you calling that out of, you know, they're doing a good job here of tying them up, you know, and keeping them occupied. But you're right, I think the maximum range we saw there was 30 miles this time, where I think it was 40 in the last round, so a little bit tighter, but it wasn't really the... You know, it's probably more circumstance than a change of tactic.
Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, so that is the round. Those are the two Tacviews looked at. So any closing thoughts, Mr. Deliverator?
Well, we can. I think I'm going to close up just stating the first thought I launched when we started the stream. experience is all that matters in this kind of tournaments. We have seen that 343 does know how to defend missiles. That I even thought that it was impossible to defend. I mean, 5 miles out, defending consistently, that's something I haven't seen so far in this tournament. I'm very impressed for that feat, you know. And of course, that means that DCS HAF will just have to put more work towards the future, as all the newcomers teams, such as our team, D3W, and that means that in not so far in the future, a few years, we will be seeing a very, very, very interesting match between all these new teams and the teams we have been seeing competing over Satal for such a long time.
Yeah, well said, well said. I think absolutely DCS HAF will have some good things to take away from here. They'll have some bad things to take away. Similar to the 343rd, I think they've a lot of good things on show when it comes down to that experience. They have their defence dialed in, which is great to see. I'm sure they'll take away some things as well to improve upon. But, you know, from the point of view of the match, it was quite decisive and an impressive result. So, well done to both teams, and, you know, we will wish them luck as to what happens next. So that is the end of the match. I'm going to very quickly wrap this up by saying there is another match ongoing currently. Mr. Maverick is streaming TFT versus PTF, and Mr. Deliverator will be streaming in about 43 minutes time. There's quick maths for you. The last match of this evening, which if I can find it, the list very quickly, is TMC versus Tall. Just in time.
Yeah, just in time.
Alright, so be sure to check that out, folks. And thank you very much, Mr. Deliverator, for coming along. Please check out his channel. I'm embarrassed to say I don't have it in a copy-paste to paste in chat just now, but if you wouldn't mind, please put your channel in and let's get you some follows.
For sure. I mean, and just so you all know, of course, right now I've been together with TitanFire, being as a co-host for this match. But remember, afterwards, TitanFire and I will be together once again, doing the match between TMC and TAW in just 45 minutes. So gents, we'll be seeing each other in just a few minutes.
Well said. Well, thank you very much for coming along, and I look forward to talking with you again later for that next match. So for now, folks, this has been DCS HAF versus 343rd. The 343rd with the win, 2 rounds to 0. Thank you all very much for coming along. Thank you, Deliverator. Good flying for both teams, and we will talk to you again very, very soon. So have a good rest of evening, and chat to you at the next match.
See you in a bit, mates. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, folks.